Kedengeran nggak ini? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Kikoimasu ka? Kedengeran nggak? Kedengeran nggak? Tadi jadwalnya salah. I got the wrong schedule. I guess that's okay. Okay, so Hai Ori, super kawaii zombie idol. Crazy. Ori desu. Semuanya selamat datang di stream Ollie. Welcome to my stream. Ori no stream yokoso. Hari ini kita akan membaca light novel. Today we will be reading a light novel. Kyou wa novel bahasa Jepangnya apa deh? Kyou wa kore o yonde imasu. We will be reading by the grace of the gods. Kita akan membaca by the grace of the gods. Novel kali ini, bukan manga. Wah. Dan Ollie ingin berterima kasih kepada Bookwalker. I'd like to say a very, very big thank you to Bookwalker because Bookwalker is just letting me read anything I want off the shelf. They're so nice. Ollie ingin berterima kasih ke Bookwalker karena Bookwalker udah memperbolehkan Ollie membaca apapun. Subachat kamsahamnida. Akasuba, thank you very much. Bookwalker arigato. Yes. Yeah, Bookwalker has been so amazing. Bookwalker itu baik banget, and I'm really happy that I get to read this, you know? Because I really like isekai genres. Ollie itu paling suka genre isekai akhir-akhir ini kan ya. Jadi waktu Ollie dapat izin untuk baca ini, Ollie langsung gitu. And I got permission to read this. I was like so ecstatic. Yeah. Reading is cool. We should all read more books, right? Right? And guys, if you guys use the code Ollie in the link description below, for you newcomers, you guys will get a 600 yen off your purchase. And for those of you who are already existing Bookwalker users, you guys can get up to 40% coin back on We Love Slime Fair. Yeah, it's really, really cool. So check the description below for more details. And check it out, because it's really neat. You guys can get to use code Ollie. Kalian bisa pakai code Ollie biar kalian bisa dapat diskon. Yay, begitu. Now without further ado, let's just start. Dan tanpa kita basa-basi lagi, mari kita mulai. So, this is another isekai, right? So there's 3 gods here. There's a little boy god, there's an old man god, and a very very pretty lady god. Yeah, so there's 3 gods, and apparently we got reincarnated. And I'm guessing that this man is us. Ryoma. Our name is Ryoma, apparently. Yeah, I got it. Like they said, it's time.
Looks like everything's ready.
Take care, okay?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you very much.
We're this guy apparently. Jadi kita ini dia. I think this is the protagonist. We're him. And wow, you know most of the isekais, they don't really have buff guys. Biasanya isekai itu bukan bukan cowok macho kan ya? Ya, sugoi lah ne. Ryoma is a good man. He looks like a good man, yeah. Particles of light enveloped Ryoma's body. The light gradually grew brighter until Ryoma's vision was entirely obscured. Yeah, so I'm guessing that we died, and that we're getting reincarnated by these three gods. Yeah, that's what I think. Let's just get into it. Okay, so this is apparently Ryoma after he got reincarnated. Takebayashi Ryoma, right? Reborn from another world, formerly a middle-aged Japanese salaryman, began his second life in this world after receiving the god's blessing. Hobbies are self-improvement and researching and tamed slimes. And researching his tamed slimes. Wow. So he has a thing for slimes, apparently. And this is the heroine, I suppose. Her name is Eliaria? Eliaria. We're just going to call her Ellie for short. Eliaria Jamil. And not to be rude, are you sure you're not lost though? You look similar to the one from the Goblin novel. You're very, very similar to the one in the Goblin novel. Right? Her name is Jamil. Oh, her name is Jamil. Isn't Jamil like her surname though? The daughter of Duke Reinhardt has a bright and honest personality and is in close age to Ryoma, who she treats favorably, born with an extremely high amount of magic energy. Ooh. I see. Then next we have Reingbach Jamil. Previous the head of Jamil and family dukedom invites Ryoma on journey away from the forest he was living secretly in. Then we have, I'm guessing these two are the married couples? So this is the grandpa and this is the mother and the... Dang, they looking good though. The mother and father looking good. Elise Jamil, Elise, I have no idea. Wife of Duke Reinhardt treats Ryoma warmly for having a difficult upbringing, as every mother would. I'm very proud, thank you. And then, Reinhardt Jamil, current head of the Jamil family dukedom, met Ryoma after being saved by him in the forest. So you got saved by a little child? Huh! How the world works! See, okay, so now we know our characters. So this is the grandpa, sexy mama, and the Duke. Yeah, we got it. Let's go. Both the young miss and her maid were amazed at its wonderful abilities. The new species of slime Ryoma discovered. Oh, I see. So we're going to be we're going to read from Prologue 1 to Chapter 1. Chapter 1, Episode 1. We will only be reading until then. So I hope you guys will stop me if I read too much, okay? Okay, let's go. Prologue 1. A single man stood alone in an empty space. His bone... Wait, I forgot. I wanted to wear glasses. Where's my glasses? Just a minute. I want to read glasses while reading this. Found them. No, wrong glasses. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Glasses. BGM a bit too loud. Okay, I'll turn it down a little bit. I hope the BGM is okay now. Is this okay? Or do you want me to change BGMs? BGM is not suited. I'll look for a different BGM then. Ooh, we're changing the BGM. Changing the BGM. Ah! You guys didn't see anything. Hi. We're changing the BGM, yeah. Just a minute. Just Is this a better BGM? Is this a better BGM? Perfect. Nice. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Done.
What I miss?
Dang, I wanna cry. Okay. Okay. Let's read our novel, shall we? Mari kita baca novelnya. Ay. A single man stood alone in an empty space. His bone-tired face and the streaks of light visible in his hair made his age seem to be in his late 40s or 50s. But contrary to his appearance from neck up, underneath what was probably his sleepwear of a plain t-shirt and loose shorts, his vigorous body was bursting with well-built muscles, indicative of how much training it had gone through.
Where am I?
The man blinked around and muttered, wondering if he had gone blacked out, drunk, in the store somewhere, when 3 people appeared before him, seemingly out of nowhere. Awake now?
Can you see clearly yet?
We'd be grateful if you could respond.
Yes, I'm fine. The suddenness of everything surprised me, so I was slow to respond. My name is Takebayashi Ryoma.
It's fine. There's no need for any formalities. Come here. Have some tea. An old man with the... that was the old man.
It's fine. There's no need for any formalities. Come, have some tea.
An old man with a long beard smiled gently at Ryoma's conditioned reflex, introduced himself, and waved his hand across the ground. The coffee table appeared out of thin air, along with enough cushions and teacup for everyone present.
Now, why don't you sit down first, Sunny? Okay, thank you.
Out of 3 people who appeared, just one of them was a woman. The young woman smiled cheerfully at Ryoma as she urged him into a seat, which Ryoma accepted with a word of thanks. The others sat down in a familiar fashion, the elderly man to Ryoma's front, the woman to his right, and the remaining boy to his left. With the 4 of them seated along the side of the coffee table, they began to drink their tea. After one sip, Ryoma opened his mouth. It's funny how they have a coffee table but they're drinking tea. It's so funny. It's a coffee table but they're drinking tea. I don't know if I'm the only one who finds that funny. So anyways, let me drink a little bit before we continue. Hi,
Pardon me, but I have a few things I'd like to ask you about. If you don't mind answering? Of course! That's what we're here for, after all! However, I have a pretty good idea of what your questions may be. Would you listen to us speak first? Some of your questions should be answered that way. I understand. Please go ahead.
Seeing Ryoma bow his head, the elderly man nodded once before launching into a frank explanation of the situations.
We are what humans refer to as gods. I am Gain, the creator. The woman to your right is the goddess of love, Lulutia.
Lulutia? Okay, that's a cute name, Lulu for short.
And the boy to your left is the god of life, Kufo. We live in a world different from your Earth, and I must regretfully inform to you that last night you took your last breath while you were sleeping. We brought your soul here after your death. Here, as in heaven. I see. So that's what happened.
Ryoma nodded in acceptance, bringing his tea to his mouth for another sip. Ryoma, aren't you too calm about this? Ini Ryomanya itu nggak terlalu santuin apa? He's just like, suka. Naruhodo, naruhodo. Naruhodo, naruhodo. Naruhodo, sip, sip, sippy, sippy. I see. Okay, next is, the three gods were baffled by the reaction. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't be baffled? Like, even I am baffled. Especially bewildered was the god with the appearance of a young boy, Kufo. Wait, that's all? Shouldn't you be more like, no way! Or like, why did I die? Or something like that?
Those who have come here before you were a little... Those who have come here before you were a little more shaken up.
I'm surprised and I do think... I'm sorry, I don't know who's who. Like, I don't know who's saying what. Because I keep getting the voices mixed up.
I'm surprised. And I do think it does sound a little unrealistic. But if this was a dream, then I'd wake up eventually. If this was real, then humans indeed die eventually. After all, the work at my company was rather relentless. I've seen many co-workers and new recruits quit, owing to the damage to their health, so I figured I would die early too. If anything, it's a miracle my body was held out by the age of 39 going to 40. Plus, reading stories like this is a hobby of mine. I love it. I don't have any family or relatives, so this is a much better option than just returning to Ash.
Yoma spoke with the earnest contentment, but the confusion on the god's face did not fade. I get you, man.
Really? Should humans think that way? Are you sure you haven't reached some kind of enlightenment? I don't think hobbies have anything to do with this. There have been several people with the same hobbies as you.
Wait, who's talking? I swear, I need to know who's talking. It's so difficult. I don't think hobbies have anything to do with this. There have been several people with the same hobbies as you, but they were rather ecstatic. They wouldn't listen at all, so it was quite a handful. Though I suppose I should be grateful they weren't pessimistic about it at all.
Well, I suppose we've saved the trouble of convincing you then. That leaves far fewer topics to go through. Was there anything you wanted to ask?
Ryoma thought for a moment before slowly opening his mouth.
In that case, how did I die?
You want to start there?
Yes. I don't consider it a surprise that I died. Just don't have any memory of dying.
Well, I suppose you wouldn't remember a death like that.
Your death was caused by a brain hemorrhage from head trauma.
Huh?
As far as I remember, I was just trying to sleep in my room.
Yep, you did fall asleep, but during your sleep, you sneezed numerous times. How do you sneeze while you're asleep, guys? If you sneeze while you're asleep, then you're awake. I've never heard of sneezing while you're asleep. You don't do that. If you sneeze and you're awake, you're not asleep if you sneeze. Biology people, rise! Tell me, is this real? Can you do this? Dogs can do it. I sneezed when I'm asleep. How do you sneeze when you're asleep? Yeah, because you're asleep, you can't hear it. How would you know? I sneezed while I sleep. My soul nearly left me. Dang. Well, we just don't realize. Do we? Huh? It's possible. I read it in a book once, I see.
4 times to be exact. Each time you sneezed, your pillow shifted until the last sneeze caused your head to hit the floor.
Man! Imagine sleeping to death. I mean, sneezing and sleeping. And I thought Kazuma's death was funny. He says, Achoo! 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 Gadidot! What a way to go. That's one way to die. My god.
Your futon was cheap and flimsy thing, so it didn't act much as a cushion.
I see. The impact wasn't enough to wake you up, but it was enough to cause a vessel in your brain to burst. The bleeding continued through to dawn, when your brain succumbed to extra pressure. I'm so sorry, this is so funny. Sneezing to death. Man, my homie isn't lucky. Rip homie, yeah. After hearing that, Ryoma looked down and processed the thoughts in his head. Then his expression suddenly soared as they squeezed out of his words. That's BS!
That's BS. How could I die such a pathetic death?
I've taken beer bottles from my drunk boss. Oh, no, is this him? Oh, there's question marks and then he talks again. Yeah, not light novel sure thing. It's so hard. Like, unless you're reading it on your own, like, it's easy. But if you're reading it out loud, it's kind of weird. Huh?
I've taken beer bottles from my drunk boss, metal pipes, and from delinquents to the head before, and turned out fine. I can't even count how many times I've taken punches to the head from my father during training. So why the hell did a stupid sneeze finally do me in?
It was as stuff. Ryoma had forgotten everyone around him as he started to reveal his intense emotions, but the gods watched on as though they had expected this. There it is.
Unfazed by his own death and our existence, yet shaken by something like this. What an odd child. It looks like he held some kind of pride in strength of his body. His father forcefully drilled martial arts into him from a young age, and he continued to train himself as a part of his daily routine until he died. Kufo Lulutia.
Yes? Is there a problem?
I don't know if it's a problem, but there's something about him I'm interested in. Could you assist me until he calms down?
Gain's expression was much more serious than what he had been talking to Ryoma. The other two gods sensed that he was thinking and started talking in words that couldn't be heard by humans, all while keeping an eye on Ryoma, who was clutching his head in gloom and turned out from his surroundings.
Oops. I'm sorry. I was lost in my own little world.
Sometime later, once Ryoma had regained some of his composure, he lifted his head to find the gods drinking their tea just like before. They're like, oh no! Anyways. These gods, man. Oh my gods.
Oh no! Anyways.
It's fine. We're usually pretty free and the other world is in fairly good shape. Blah. It's fine. We're usually pretty free and the other world is in fairly good shape and is good place right now, so there's plenty of time. And it isn't an odd sight to see people losing their composure here. Human souls are meant to be paired with the body, after all. Even if we use our divine powers to maintain that, the instability makes it easy for emotions to run wild. It's no surprise for us, so you don't need to worry about it either.
The perception of time is a little fake in the divine realm, and the souls can't feel hunger or thirst. It won't be unusual for 4 years to pass before someone calms down enough to talk.
4 years? Ryoma didn't hide his surprise at the words of Kufo. Oh, that was Kufo? I see, that was Kufo. Man, I'm sorry. The god that looked like the young boy. But there was a regular occurrence for the gods. That's what I meant. No thirst, apparently no thirst. So.
It depends on whether a person snaps out of it themselves or...
Wait, who is this? Is this Kufo? It depends on whether the person snaps out of it themselves or if they need to intervene to calm them. But we typically leave them alone for a while, because they don't listen when they zone out of the reality like that. And it's more troublesome to have them be wary of us, so we can't really act rashly. There are some people that break down at every point of our conversation. 4 years can pass by easily while waiting for them to calm down. That's why you don't need to worry about it, Ryoma. If anything, we should resume our conversation now that you've calmed down. Is that alright?
Yeah. I understand.
Gay nodded once Ryoma responds. Bleh. Gay nodded once at Ryoma's response. That's what I wanted to read.
Good. Now, as for why we called you here, perhaps you'd understand if I described it like this. It's the trope. I see. I'm going to go to another world. Is it a transfer or am I being reincarnated since I'm dead already? You really are You really are quick on the uptake.
Yuma listens to Lelouch's explanation, paying no mind to the slight astonishment in her expression and tone.
It'll technically be a transfer. You'll be using a body we created in our world, so you won't have any parents or relatives.
Your body on the other side will be fairly young, so you can consider it an reincarnation? If you have any requests about your appearance, we can alter it to a degree too.
Exactly how old will this body be? Roughly the 10 of years. At that age, it should be believable enough that you wandered into the forest and survived out of luck. You won't be suspected as much as a child, so you can head to the town and begin your life there. Of course, we'll protect you as much as we can. Your social status will be that of an orphaned commoner, but we've selected a kingdom with a more open-minded society to send you to. It shouldn't hinder your daily life. Thank you very much. Please make my appearance on the other side somewhat normal. Incidentally, what should I be doing once I reach the other world? Do I have some kind of mission?
You technically do, but it ends the moment you go to the world. That's why practically you don't. If I had to say, then your mission is the act of going to our world itself. Our goal is to send the magical energy of Earth to our magical depleted world by sending you to our world. That does not make any sense. While Ryuma accepted this explanation, he had a new question to ask.
You can't send magical energy alone? Indeed. To put it simply, there's a wall between our two worlds. Magical energy normally cannot cross that wall, but if we open a hole in our power, we can transfer magic through it. However, this is an extremely difficult task, even for us gods. Maintaining the hole requires power, which we run out of before transferring the necessary amount of energy. That's where you came in. You won't be conscious for this part, but we use our divine powers to push up your soul into the wall and use you as a prop to keep the hole open for the short amount of time. During that time, we transfer the magical energy from Earth.
Our world has developed the use of magic, so running out of magical energy would cause many problems. Not only would people relying on magic to live suffer, but the monsters that feed on magical energy would go extinct, removing them from the food chain and destroying the balance of nature. On the other hand, Earth has magical energy that it doesn't use. There are no monsters either. It won't cause a problem if it runs out, so we've been taking it for ourselves.
I see. If there isn't a particular reason for depletion of energy, is it being caused by the consumption outspacing the production?
That's correct! There are many reasons for it, but humans are the main cause. I understand that magic is useful and has developed out of the exhaustive research, but its consumption keeps going up.
It's a little difficult to keep the consumption of magical energy under control. Furthermore, using too much of magic inside your body can make you unwell. It's much easier to gather the surrounding magic energy to use the magic instead, but seeing the reliance on such an irresponsible method is saddening.
I have no idea what they're talking about. Like, basically, the gods are blaming the humans for not using the magic energy. Man, these gods really do be complaining. They're like, nah, we not vibing with this man. Same. Drinky. You guys don't use enough magic. Gods always complain. Yeah.
Would I be able to use it too? Magic, that is?
You can. Yes.
You surely will.
Really?
Pardon my rudeness. It's fine. Magic, was it? You'll be transferring to a body just like humans over there. Naturally, since the humans can use magic, you'll be able to as well with some training.
Also, like we mentioned earlier, you'll be under the protection of our divine power while crossing the worlds, so we can bestow a bit of power onto you too. Even if you have no talent, we can raise your base task to a level where you can enjoy using magic too. It gets a little more difficult if you want to get stronger. If you want the strongest power in the world, though. While Ryoma was a little embarrassed at how they were looking at him like an adorable child, he was still happy at the prospects of being able to use magic.
In that case, the power will...
In that case, the power we'll bestow upon you will be magic related. First, we'll make sure you can use all of the elemental magics.
Wouldn't that attract attention?
The three gods grinned at Ryoma's question. Bleh. Like that, bleh. Wait, let me use my glasses. Let me remove my glasses. This is getting tedious. I will just be reading normally. Everyone who comes here always says that, especially the ones who read light novels.
It's considered rare in our world, but it's not something people will fuss over. Really?
Yep. Some people are born with it, and others can learn it. I'm sorry. I just woke up. It's getting. I'll freshen myself up a little bit. Woo! Okay. Yep. Some people are born with it, and the others can learn to use all the elemental magics with the right training. There are probably 10 to 20 people amongst the Kingdom Knights that can do so. However, there are so many elements to use. Training them all evenly would result in less time to practice, making each one hard to master. Between magicians that can use every element to a limited degree, and magicians that have mastered a single element, and the latter one is more valued.
Jacks of all trades or a master of none, huh?
Indeed.
That's why nothing bad will come out of it, so it'd be perfect for someone who wants to enjoy using magic powers like you, Ryoma. I see. Then please give me all of the elements.
Got it! There's still some power left, so what would you like for the rest? After that, Ryoma and the gods continued to talk about powers until they were satisfied. Alright, that should be all we can fit. Everything ended up magic related though, are you sure? Carrying over the martial arts you learned in your previous life won't be a problem, but this many types of magic can mean you won't be able to use strong magic right away, you know?
As long as it won't hinder my ability to live, please do everything as we discussed.
Okay, if you haven't changed your mind, then that's for the best. Now we can come to the last step. Jin accepted Ryoma's firm determination and pulled out the wooden board, parchment, and a quill of seemingly nowhere. The parchment listed all the details of their discussion until now, along with an empty space for a name to be signed at the bottom right.
To think I'd be signing contracts even after death. Oh, is this not to your liking? I wouldn't say that. It was just a little unexpected. Well, the contract isn't actually necessary.
Huh? Lucius and Kufo's response to his meaningless remark made Ryoma pause in reaching for the quill. This is just the final check. It's for you to confirm that we fulfilled our duty in explaining our circumstances and the situation you will be placed in. By signing it, you will be confirming that you're willing in participation. That's why you can confirm verbally as well.
Really?
We can change it up based on the persons we're dealing with. A verbal agreement is easier than a contract for the younger kids. Suka. Hearing that response, Ryoma focused on the contents of the contract and signed it once he finished reading it. The next moment, his body was engulfed in faint light.
Huh?
Don't worry. This is just a proof that the process has started. It won't harm you.
Unfortunately, that's the rule. After all the explanations and decisions are made, there isn't much time until you're sent to the other side.
I wonder why it's always the nasty ones that always stay the longest, while the likable ones depart on their journey so soon. Those words made Ryoma realize the time had come to say their goodbyes.
I see. That is rather regretful. I'm forever in your debt. Don't worry about it. It's your life. Live it to how you please. We'll send you off to the safest forest possible, so rest assured.
We'll always be watching over you. This is a goodbye, so you can say what you want too, you know? You don't have to be so polite in your speech either.
Why don't you show your true self since this is the last time we'll meet? Yes. Yeah, you're right. Thanks. I guess you could tell I was putting on airs, huh? We're gods after all. Of course we'd notice. Not to mention how different your tone was when you had your breakdown.
You should have spoken to us like that from the start.
I don't think I could speak casually to a god.
It gets uncomfortable. It gets uncomfortable when it goes too far, but you're fine, Ryoma. I have magnanimous heart, since I am a goddess after all.
I see. Do you have any plans for when you get to the other side?
If there's anything you're worried about, let them out now. We'll hear you out. Ryoma tried to ponder in thought. But his words came out without much of a pause. It's about my personal relations. I've lived for 39 years and I wasn't very good at socializing with people. Even when I go to another world, I'm still me. I don't think going to another world will change that. Honestly, I'm so tired of socializing. I considered living as a recluse. If that's what you want to do, then go for it. That's also a way of life. At the same time, it feels like a waste not...
At the same time, it feels like a waste not to explore a whole new world. What to do?
Why don't you live in isolation for a while and set off on a journey once you feel like it?
You might wonder if that's really okay.
I mean, that's what I do. I don't go out at all, I just shut myself in. And how long has it been since I went out, actually? It's been 2 weeks and I stayed I stayed in my room without going out, without going anywhere. Either way, you'll be arriving at a forest first since it caused a big fuss if we suddenly transferred you to the middle of town. You can live in that forest for a while, then head to town later. You wanted to experiment with magic anyways, didn't you?
That's true.
Take your time! You seem to be trying to do all sort of options available to you. But you can't just take them one at a time at your own pace. It doesn't matter if you can't do all of them.
You've died once already, you know? This will really be a rebirth for you and completely different to your previous life. You should live to how you want, especially since you'll be a child on the other side. You know? You don't have to think about anything other than staying safe and having fun. The parts we bestowed upon you will be your strength, so enjoy the magic practices too. You won't be able to use everything as soon as you arrive, but you should pick up things quickly with your earned knowledge. So there's no need to rush, okay? You should prioritize control. Indeed, that would be best.
Wait, no, that's not the protagonist. Indeed, that would be for the best. You should be able to handle any bandits as well, on the slim chance you encounter them.
So, I should take it easy and do what I want, huh? In that case, I'll stay in the forest for a while. I feel a lot better now. Thanks.
If you do head to town, stop by the church from time to time. You won't be able to see us, but if you obtain an oracle skill, you'll be able to converse with us for short amounts of time. The higher your level, the longer and more often we can talk for.
Got it. If I head into town, then I'll make sure to drop by. I don't know when that will be though, but I promise to visit the church for sure.
Yep, we'll be waiting. You'll have to put up with our idle chatter again.
We do have lots of time to spare.
Just as Game chuckled, particles of light wrapped around Ryoma's body.
Looks like it's time.
The light gradually grew stronger, obstructing Ryoma's vision. It seems the preparations are done.
It's time.
Stay healthy and have fun, okay?
Yeah, I will. Thank you very much. Yep. Now here goes. Open the path to another world.
We grant you our blessings. Let there be light on your new journey. Enjoy your new life. Immediately after that, Ryoma was swallowed by a blinding light. Once that light faded, both Ryoma and the gods were gone. That's good. Now, we're going to Prologue 2. That was a long chat, actually. How long have we been reading this for? 40 minutes? For Prologue 1? That's actually very, very long. Maybe it's because I'm reading them out loud. Gotta work. Tabuchi progress report. I'm sorry. There's... my throat isn't, is kind of groggy today. Very sorry.
Gotta work. Tabuchi progress report.
Deep in the forest, Ryoma woke up in the shadows of overgrown trees. He had the appearance of a young boy, just like the gods had said, no older than 10 and dressed in linen clothes, slumped against the trunk of a tree and fast asleep. After muttering some words oddly out of sync with his appearance, he squinted through the sunlight filtering through the trees and looked around sleepily. A forest? It's not a dream, right? As he sat there smelling the scent of dirt, forest, and wind, he gradually recalled how he came to be here. That's right. This is another world. His eyes landed on the leather bag and diary-sized book by his waist. When he picked it up and looked over the cover, he was met with the word letter, written in symbols that clearly were in Japanese. The senders were the 3 gods that invited him to this world: Gain, Kufo, Lulutia. After reading aloud that naturally written names, he recalled the memory of the gods. They were polite and considerate enough to provide me with all of the knowledge to live before sending me. But they even supplemented that with a letter. Though at its thickness, it's more of a manual than a letter. He turned the pages to see 3 things written there. First, he was in a world called Sailfall, in the Rifal's kingdom, forest of Ghana. There were no particular strong beasts or monsters here, so it was comparatively safe place to live. The second was that it wasn't completely safe, so he was to confirm the movements of his new body are located somewhere safe to live. A small map had been carefully included. The last point to conclude in the first page was to read the rest of the letter once you've moved somewhere safe. A faint smile appeared on Roma's face at how thoroughly the gods left their instructions. But when he tried to get up, he felt a strong displacement with his body. I really am a child now. Me, Takebayashi Ryoma, systems engineer, 39 years old and single. It's as though my memories were transplanted. Reminds me of a certain child detective. Ooh, child detective. We know which one. But man, who introduces them who says that about themselves? Me, Takebayashi Ryoma, systems engineer, 39 years old and single. Who says that? Like when I introduce myself, I say, yeah, I'm super kawaii zombie idol, Crazy Ollie. I don't say, me, Crazy Ollie, VTuber from Hololive, forever 17, and definitely an idol. I don't say that. Who says that? Imagine. Man. So he had listened to the explanation. Ryoma was surprised to actually feel the change in his body and confirmed there were no abnormalities. Once he checked through everything was fine, he took a breath and started to move his body. He bent and stretched his arms and legs, going through each part of his body with a simple warm-up exercise that gradually grew more intense. Then, only after checking each and every martial art form his head had relentlessly beat him into it in Then, only after checking each and every martial art form his father had relentlessly beat into him from his previous life, did his movement stops. The moment after his eyes locked onto a narrow tree beside him, a sharp kick into its trunk. God damn, look at that! He destroyed the heck out of that tree trunk. Aw, man! It's funny because they said that he's a 10-year-olds can do this, man. Like, unless that 10-year-old is being, like, trained by a monster to become a martial artist, I don't think any normal 10-year-old can do this. Nang. Beep! Chirp, 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 chirp! A light, tearing sound echoed through the quiet forest. Despite the tree being alive and healthy, the trunk cleanly snapped in half and fell to the ground, staring the birds resting their wings in the nearby greenery. Seeing that result summarized the rest of his movements up until then for Ryoma. Weird. My strength is that of my previous life or better. It doesn't suit my frame at all. My body's so light, I move like a breeze. And the length of my limbs should go without saying. My distance and perception senses are out of tune. I don't think I'll have problems with the basic movements like walking or running, but I guess I'll have to get used to it bit by bit. Having reached that conclusion, Ryoma returned to the base of the tree he had been sleeping against, checked and checked for his current positions on map. He picked up the bag. Man, reading is hard. He picked up the bag and put the letters away, at the same time finding a knife to keep by his side as he started to walking towards the destinations the god had marked. 2 hours later, man, this kid been walking for 2 hours. I can't even go for a 15-minute walk. God dang. Ryoma had spotted several small animals, creatures that didn't exist on Earth. But they were all weak monsters that either fled out of their own accord or ignored him completely. While traveling took a little more time with his child legs, the journey itself wasn't dangerous, and even allowed him to gather herbs and edible plants using the knowledge the gods had bestowed upon him in advance. Thus, Ryoma eventually walked into the depths of a dimly lit forest. The trees parted from the cliff face of a bare rock. Ryoma looked around to confirm his safety before quickly putting down his belongings and sitting down to read the continuation of the letters from the gods. So there's a river nearby. Looks like the perfect place for a home base. Ryoma muttered to himself as he read more of the reading skills, come on. Showing no signs of heading towards civilization or intent to actually leave the forest. Like he had told the gods, he planned on starting from living as a recluse in the forest. Apparently, there's a tent among the supplies, but a cave would be safer when up against monsters. The safety of the tents wasn't very reassuring. With that thought, Ryoma approached. What's approach, Ollie? Come on, get it together, Ollie. Ryoma approached the cliff face and poked the bare rock with his right hand, before moving his eyes back to the letter in his left hand. The page on top was an explanation of how to use magic. First, calm your heart and focus within your body. Like this? It feels like there's a water balloon under my skin. Gross. Despite calling it gross, the tone of his voice was a mix of excitement and delight, but his expressions also softened faintly. However, no matter how much of an interest he had in games and light novels, even if he had the thought of countless fantasies between the break of his busy work life, he had still never used magic before. Because of that, once you feel the magical energy within your body, move up while imagining the magical energy flowing out of your body. Yep. He checked each and every step along the way. He was almost spitting the image of an elderly person with an instruction manual in one hand while struggling to keep up with the modern-day technology. But once he had imagined the magical energy flowing out of his fingertips, it slowly but surely started to happen. For the record, the 12 elements of magics were neutral, fire, magic, wind, earth, ice, lightning, wood, poison, light, dark, and space. What? That sounds like a Pokemon type, seriously. And what the heck is space and neutral? What's space and neutral? Really? What's neutral? What's space? That's a lot, it is. Each element was sorted into difficulty levels referred to as lower elements, middle elements, or higher elements. Furthermore, the elements of a magic type was changed based on what someone's imagined as they released their magical energy and could be activated by chanting the spell name of the magic. Having read this sentence in the letter, Ryoma decided to select one of the earth magics recorded on the page and test it out. The magical energy flows into the rock of the cliff, breaking it into dirt. Break rock. The cliff touching at the end of his fingertip crumbled slightly, creating a small hole in the face. The hole was roughly 3 fingers wide, ooh, and as deep as his first knuckle, ooh. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Wait, let me drink. I'm not saying anything, guys. Guys, I'm not saying anything. Stop honking me. I didn't say anything. Ollie! I'm sorry. It was more of a dent than a hole, but Ryoma just looked at it and laughed quietly. How long has it been since I felt this way? A life where overnight shift and overtime was normal. Where I was either at work or at home, or out drinking with my bosses. It's not like I didn't have any fun at all, but it's been so long that I've forgotten this feeling. While remaining alert of his surroundings, he continued to use break rock with a smiling face for some time. Ooh, getting those holes. But after he was satisfied with his first use of magic, Ryoma muttered to himself, "This isn't very efficient. All this effort and I only have a hole large enough for both of my hands. I won't even be done by sunset at this rate. And there should be a limit to how magical energy I can use anyways." With that thought, Ryoma decided to take a break and retrieve water from a nearby river. Once he returned, he started to read the next part of the letter. It'd be nice if there was something useful, but at worst, I'll just use bent. Back on Earth, it wasn't very rare for me to do 2 or 3 all-nighters in a row, so I should be able to last that long without sleeping. Oh! Ryoma had turned the page in search of a solution to his problems and came across a table where all of his current abilities and statistics were displayed. My status, huh? This is useful. I can take what I'm currently capable of with this. On the page, these words were written. My name and gender are unchanged from my previous life. Aside from how my family name comes last now. And I'm 8 years old. I wonder what kind of child I was back then. I can't remember anything other than training under my father. Well, whatever. Next. And then those are all of his stats. Wow, am I a musclehead? I know I could move around more than my bosses and the youngsters these days, but was it really this big of a gap? I can understand my magical energy is increasing because of the transfer process, but I don't recall asking for increased physical strength. A similar note was written for magical energy, where the average person had 100, warriors that had supplementary magic had 500 to 700, normal magicians had anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000, while royal sorcerers had an average of 10,000 to 50,000. Well, I suppose it doesn't hurt to have more. The rest of my skills are abilities, eh? Everyday skills, combat skills. That's a lot of things. I'm not going to read it one by one. So we're just going to this part. There we go. So, the numbers following the skill is the proficiency level of that ability. Learning the ability is level 1 to 2, level 3 established, level 4 experience, level 5 top notch, and level 6 and above is mastery. I guess my 36 years of experience came through. Most of these skills are from work, school, or the part-time jobs I did. Abilities like programming doesn't exist in this world, so they're not written here. And titles and protections don't seem too useful to me right now. Alright, let's see how I can dig a hole with these skills. For the next 10 minutes, Ryoma glared at the explanations of the skills on the next page, reading them carefully. Then he has spotted a certain skill, energy meditation, an ability that enhances the physical body by using life force. By focusing the mind of energy within one's life and circulating it around the body, like magical energy, the physical function of the body could be improved as a whole. It could also be used to enshroud a weapon in energy and increase its sharpness and might. Because it's a skill required naturally through prolonged training of the body and combat abilities, it could sometimes be used unconsciously. This must be why my body's been moving so fluidly. It seems like it'd be useful once I understand it fully. There was also an earth magic somewhere. There it is. Basic earth elemental magic. Rock. Basic earth elemental magic. Rock. It's just there. It's just rock. I see. A spell fell to hardened dirt and turned it into stone or rock. The shape could be controlled by the caster's will. Rock! That's it, rock! Ryoma cast the magic on the crumbled earth from the cliff and instantly turned it into pebble. Alright. Rock. He used the same magic to create a short spike out of dirt. Then once the break rock to shape the tip of it into that of an animal fang. Once it was done, Ryoma grabbed the spike with an overhand grip and faced the cliff once more, taking a deep breath to use the energy meditation. Ha! He wrapped his right arm and the tip of the spike with energy, then swung it down on the surface of the cliff with all of his might. The single collision between the towering cliff and energy enhanced the spike, made of the same material, caused as a groove as deep as the second knuckle of a finger to be carved into the cliff surface. I have no idea what that means. Seeing that result, Ryoma continued to swing his stick into the cliff, digging a hole at a pace exceptionally faster than he was using magic. Ah! It's broken! Rock! He really likes the rock. By fixing his tool each time it broke, Ryoma had dug a cave with enough space for him and his belonging by dusk. However, since he had been unconsciously using power he was unfamiliar with, he also felt a faint sense of fatigue. I guess I'll stop here for today. Ryoma turned to take his gathered food and water inside the completed base for the time being, when his eyes caught the sight of a scenery that left him speechless. Wow. The outside view was colored in a fiery glow of sunset. The leaves of the trees were dyed in crimson, with a bright green spread throughout the undergrowth and the leaves of the direct sunlight. While his eyes were captivated by the beauty of the scenery, the sky gradually transitioned from dusk to a starry night. How beautiful! There's so many stars! It's been so long since I've seen this many stars. Now, when was the last time I even stopped to look at the scenery? Even as he stared at the sky, he had no answer. However, Ryoma was able to carry his belongings to the cave with some sense of satisfaction. Taking a blanket out of his supplies, he made a place to sleep against the walls and then reached and hid his supplies again for wood. Because he had chosen fruits and plants that could be eaten raw, there wasn't much in his portion. But he wasn't able to fill his stomach with half of his total portion. I'll save the rest for tomorrow and sleep for now. I'll start gathering food and other things I need to survive starting tomorrow. There's still lots of things to do, but it's all worth doing. He blocked the entrance of the cave for safety, leaving only a hole for air. Gain, Tufo, Lucia, I'm truly grateful to you and all of your kindness. Having finished his work for the day, Ryoma wrapped himself in the blanket and whispered his passing thoughts of his life to come, the words echoing into the darkness of the cave before disappearing. Several minutes later, he was breathing peacefully in his sleep. Meanwhile, the three pairs of eyes peered at Ryoma's sleeping faces from the divine realm. Their owners were Gain, Kufa, and Leloucia. You guys creepy, watching an 8-year-old sleep like that. I don't know, man. Like, I know you're gods and you're watching over him, but I don't know, man.
Looks like it's going well so far.
Yes, and he had no problem receiving the powers either. And he's made a shelter for now. It seems like he'll be fine. The three of them showed relief in the endless fight, a white space that they stood in. Indeed. But let's keep watching over him for a while. Even with consent, it would pain to see him suffer. And I'm a little curious anyways, wouldn't you agree, Kufo, Leloucia? Oh, I forgot to voice hack, I'm sorry. Yep, I agree with Gain.
Me too. But honestly, what was Earth's god thinking? Interfering with the fates of the living for no reason.
While Kufo approved of Gain's suggestion, Leloucia went on to express her clear disgust for the Earth's god. Calm yourself,
Leloucia. There's no point in wondering about what now.
Doesn't it bother you too, Gain?
Of course, he's a fine specimen of a human, but you definitely don't see many humans who have their faces tempered with like that. Not even a god would dare interfere with fate so flippantly. For one, to take the person's happiness is, quite honestly, reprehensible.
I can imagine why one would go out of their way to use trials to do that. Trials were a type of salvation originally meant to be presented by the gods managing the world onto a large collective such as a race or a kingdom in time of a great imminent imminent danger. The decision to present the trial and timing of when to do so was entrusted to the judgment of the world's gods. But overflowing the trial meant a befitting power could be obtained. Many of the heroes spoken in the legends have used the power they gain to drive away the threat just like this. The goal was to present hardship, but a trial is still a trial. Overcoming that hardship would result in receiving power.
It seems like each reoccurrence was continuously suppressed at the level of everyday misfortune, or bad luck, and for an awfully long time at that.
They say that enough dust can make a mountain after all. The fact that the power he received was useless for his work and fortune was also rather wicked. Well, it was unfortunate that his body was strengthened instead, I guess. If not...
We only realized it because of that, after all. And from what I can see from his memories, his father is also.
The gods continued to chat until completely oblivious Roma woke up.
I see.
Man, these gods. These gods. Let me drink again, a little. My mouth is getting bubbly with saliva. Auto-tune Ollie. You mean this? Auto-tune Ollie. Hello. How do you guys feel? Every reason now is back. Water is good. Okay, so next is chapter 1, episode 1, 3 years later, and we're going to read it. And this will be this will be the last chapter that we will be reading. Ini adalah chapter terakhir yang akan kita baca bareng. 3 years after Takebayashi Ryoma hid himself away in the forest of Ghana to devote himself to training his martial arts and magic, he still had no intentions of leaving the forest. Alright, it's food time! The crude cave his dwelling had been widened with his improved earth magic. A barrier placed at the entrance to secure the safety of his home. He also had furniture made from hardened dirt he had got from digging out of the cavern. More than enough food could be acquired from the blessings in the forest, which he could determine the safety of eating with the knowledge of received from gods and the neutral magic. You know, it'd be fun if we could actually rap this out. Let's try rapping to this. A prey so strong decided to leave the forest, instead spending his time enjoying the hobbies he couldn't have in his previous life. One particularly devoted hobby was to research the slime. In the beginning, he had captured the slime by simply trying to taming the magic he had bestowed with, which somehow led to the decision of keeping it as a pet. Half a year later, he woke up one morning to see the slimes was a different color. Fearing it had fallen sick, he hurriedly using taming magic master's appraisal to find out that it had evolved into a species of slime called a sticky slime. From that day onwards, Ryoma became interested in slime's evolution and spent much of his time observing them. The first thing he learned was that wild slimes were at the bottom of the ecosystem. Because slimes did not possess the power to hunt prey, Ryoma was to witness a wild slime eating a proper meal. However, he would feed him the leftovers of his own meal, as well as the carcasses of the green caterpillar he often came across on his hunts. In other words, our Ryoma slimes ingested much more nutrition than their wild counterparts on a daily basis. Furthermore, the green caterpillars in the meals were capable of spitting out sticky string. Ryoma formed the hypothesis that one of these differences was what caused the slime's evolution, so he captured new slimes and continuously fed them green caterpillars and food. Reading is hard. Do you guys know what caterpillars are most afraid of? Kalian tahu nggak caterpillars itu paling takut sama apa? Caterpillars fear doggerpillars the most. Doggerpillars, get it? Caterpillars, doggerpillars. I'm so sorry. Yeah, anyways, In addition, the slime with green caterpillars removed from their dais as a controlled variable had evolved into a different species of a slime. It was from this point that Ryoma's interest grew significantly, leading to a huge numbers of slime being captured and fed assorted leftovers and gathering materials, resulting in 6 species of slime Ryoma presently kept. Which is just slime, sticky slime. I don't want to read these. I'm just going to skip over the specs and read the narration instead, or else it'll be too long. In the end, its only skills were a strong sticky solution and the 3 basics: consume, absorb, and split. But even eventually, it learned hardening sticky solution and jump as well, which was how Ryoma learned the monsters could also acquire skills through training. Sticky string shot was discovered when Ryoma was investigating the qualities of a strong sticky solution and hardening sticky solution alongside evolution, mixing the 2 solutions to create a string shape. When he tested whether the same phenomenon could occur within the slime's body, all the training led to the acquisitions of those skills. And then there's also acid slime, poison slime, cleaner slime. Cleaner slime, what? It cleans you, apparently. And scavenger slime. They weren't that many species, as he had switched his focus from evolving them to rearing them partway though, but their numbers were over 900. Dang, this guy really be living the slime. This slime farm, like dang, imagine 900 slimes. Yeah, a slime rancher. Howdy, partners! These are all my slimes. Say hello to a goody big boy and say hello to Mrs. Catter. Please. Like, dang, can you guys imagine? What, 900? Yeah. Read the cleaner slime. Should I read the cleaner slime? Slimes drank water often, but there were some of which are oddly inconsistent of drinking Ryoma's bathwater after he was done washing. Seeing no issue with that, Ryoma allowed them to do as they wish, which resulted in this... What? Excuse me? Cleaner slime? You're drinking the bathwater of an 8-year-old? Huh? Huh? No. Huh? 11-year-old, 12-year-old. Doesn't matter, he's still a kid. He's still a kid. Well, a 42-year-old. FBI, open up! Yeah. Oh, it'll get better. Okay. Okay, none of that. Let's keep reading, shall we? Ryoma's personality meant he wasn't bothered by simple and repetitive tasks to begin with, so with no one to stop him in this situation, he had lost sight of where to stop. However, that lifestyle was what healed Ryoma's tired heart and gave him vitality. This allowed him to live his life steadily despite the occasional encounter with bandits or large beasts, which Ryoma could deal with using his own powers and army of slimes. Imagine slimes, like an army of slimes. That is kind of scary, to be honest. And so Ryoma would go on living in this way, or so he had thought, when the fate came knocking one day. It was during his daily hunt when, instead of a prey, he spotted 5 armored people in the forest. It's rare to see people around these parts. Their equipment looks too uniform for them to be bandits. This might be my first time seeing people who aren't bandits in this world. But I am a recluse living in the depths of the forest. Oh? Someone injured? Hidden in the thickest behind trees, he observed from the distance and saw one person was leaning on his companion's shoulder, wrapped his bloody bandages instead of armor. Hang in there, Hughes! Camel, how's your magic energy? Sorry, it's still... He doesn't look too good. They don't seem like bandits, so I can't turn a blind eye. I can at least let them rest at my place. If they turn out to be bandits, I have emergency measures in the place anyways. Ryoma stepped out of the thicket he was hiding in to call out to them. However... Wait, what should I say to them? Good day? No, this isn't the time to be so carefree. Oi, you lot! That would make them wary, and it'd be rude to boot. Really, what should I say to them? Although Ryoma had stepped forward with the intention of help, it had been 3 years since he had last spoken to anyone else. He found himself faltering, unable to decide on what to say, during which time the group on high alert had spotted him. Yeah, but...
Hey, who goes there?
Wait. The person leading the group immediately pointed a sword at Ryoma, but was stopped by a man behind him who would slowly walk forward. Sorry for pointing a sword at you. We were a little on guard. Why might you be doing here? This isn't a place for children. Are you lost? Ryoma was questioned, though he was still having trouble finding his words. I was... hunting.
Hunting? By yourself?
Rather than words, Ryoma nodded in confirmation.
This is a dangerous place, but... oh well. Did you need something from us?
Ryoma pointed at the injured person. He's... injured.
Well, no shoot, Sherlock! No shoot!
Man! When Ryoma reached into the leather bag at his waist with his empty man, the man with the sword stepped forward and pointed it once more, as though to protect the other man. Ryoma realized the knife he had equipped next to his leather bag was probably the reason for that reaction and jumped back, swiftly taking out his homemade medicine and offering it with both hands to show he had no ill intentions.
Is that... medicine?
The man with the sword asked after seeing that, at which Ryoma nodded before forming his words with difficulty. Injury. Bad. Use medicine. Ryoma. Ryoma. That is kinda cute. He's like, injury. Bad. Use medicine. That's cute.
You're letting us use that medicine?
Hurry. The men exchanged glances, but the slender man named Camille accepted the medicine bottle wearily and checked its contents before feeding it to the injured person. The injured man regained some of the color in his face, and the attitude of the man towards Ryoma softened a little.
You have my gratitude for giving us your medicine, Hughes. Hughes should last a bit longer with this.
Can rest at home to rest. Ryoma is so cute right now. Man, I'd hug him. This is pathetic even for me. With his clumsy words, Ryoma slowly but successfully managed to invite the group home. He led them into a forest and through the trees, proceeding at a slow pace for the injured person. On the way, their whispered discussions reached his ears.
What is a child doing in a place like this? He still looks pretty young.
Well, I am 11 years old, homie, but being this deep in the forest is suspicious. That being said, it doesn't feel nice being doubted like this, but I'd like them to be less worried, you know what I'm saying? Like, should I really try making them stop small talk? No, I don't have any time other than the backstory prepared to explain why I'm here. I might end up digging up my own grave even if I made the small talk. Yikes. I'm so sorry. Anyways,
is there a place we can rest up ahead? I don't know, but the potion earlier definitely had an effect, so he doesn't seem hostile. Some hunters create safe zones within the forest where they can hide. It may be some kind of campsite.
Exactly! Like, oh my god, as long as you don't attack me, I have no intention of fighting either. That's right, I should check whether my traps have caught anything, actually. And that way I can prepare a meal where their injured member is resting. Oh my god, homie! If I do that much for them, anyone reasonable would be a bit more friendly, yeah! I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, I'll read properly now. Ryoma came to a stop and called over the sticky slime he had on standby next to the traps, using the effects on the taming contract. But to those beside him, it looked like Ryoma had just came to a sudden stop. What's wrong? Trap! Caught prey. Be here soon, Ryoma said, casually, observing the one who had spoken to him. Is he the most important person here? everyone was following his orders earlier, including the man with the sword. Maybe the rest are his escorts or something. Yuma thought to himself when the grass rustled and parted to reveal a sticky slime with a horned rabbit's carcass in tow. However, the man beside him swiftly drew his sword, unaware that it was Ryuma's familiar. Oh no! Yuma leaped forward and picked up the slime and trapped the scale. Is that slime your familiar? The action had alerted the man that the slime was a familiar, to which Ryoma nodded his head furiously. The man gave Ryoma and the other slimes another look before shooting his sword again. My apologies, I didn't realize it was a familiar. As long as we've cleared up the misunderstanding, it's fine. I haven't been using enough words to express myself either. The slime was still a monster, so it was only natural to think of one of those in the forest as wild. Yuma put the slime and kill away in his bag and started to walk again. This time, with a conversation based on the incident just now.
That slime sure brings back memories. My first contract was with the slime as well. A tamer? Former tamer. Tamer, I mean. I haven't formed a contract since the familiar I bonded with retired from an old age. I used to have a red horse and a blizzard ape in the past.
Amazing? I don't really know those monsters. I come from a family which has been taming for many generations, so we're taught various tricks and techniques from a young age. I don't particularly excel in any area of magic, but I do have a certain level of pride in my sword arm. Generations of a family, and with personal escorts. This person is either normal or someone rich and influential, or maybe someone with such connections. Wait, calm down. I'm informed in advance that this kingdom is more tolerant regarding the social gap between nobility and commoners. The gods picked this kingdom on purpose because it was easy to live in. Based on his actions until now, there's still plenty of room to be friends. If I think of it as a business party with no bigger or lower statuses, but I can't let down my guard either way. Yuma was in a slight panic as he gathered his thoughts in his head and walked around retrieving the kills from his traps. 10 minutes later, they arrived at the cliff where Yuma's home was. And that is all for today's reading, everyone. Ooh, this was interesting! Imagine getting reincarnated only to have a slime farm. Yeah, we finished already? We're finished! It's been how many? We've been reading for 1 hour and 16 minutes. 16 minutes and 40 seconds. Yeah. This is so interesting. It is, right? If you guys want to read the continuation of this light novel, if you guys want to read the continuation of this light novel, then I suggest you guys go to the description. There's a link in the description below. You guys can buy it on Bookwalker, and you guys can use the code Ollie to get a 600 yen off if you're a newcomer. If not, and if you're still interested in slimes, you can always read another light novel titled We Love Slime Fair. There's also a lot of slimes here, so I think you'd also have a great time reading it. Only with the code Ollie, of course. You can get up to 40% coin back on eligible slime ebooks there. Anyways, it's time for donation reading, so let us teleport, shall we? Do. This was from the previous donation reading. Pardon me. Doko. Wait, I need to get rid of this. There we go. Then I need to put the chat in. Chotomatte ne. Isha. And then I'm going to put in the chat box. Done. There we go. I'll make myself a little bit bigger. Hi. Boom. With his sword now. Yes. Slime girls are a pog. Yes, they are. They're definitely my type, slime girls. Whew. Let me get the history up. move the donation reading here. Badang. There we go, there we go, there we go. Now I'll be reading the donations, okay? Sekarang Ollie akan membacakan donasinya. I'd like to say a very big thank you to Bloody Heartland. Dear Ollie, please take my brain. Yours, Bloody. No thank you, I do not want any bloody brains. But I appreciate this super chat, so thank you very much. Next is from Gosi-chan. Ohio Ray Ori-chan, starting the week with some awesome voice acting done by Ori-chan is the best. Thank you. And the next is from... Oh, wait. Hangul. It's in Hangul. Let me... Ihyun-chan. Hyu-chan. Ihyo-chan. Hyo-chan ka? Hyo-chan desu ka? Is it Hyo-chan? 감사합니다. Red super chat. 감사합니다. Thank you, Hyo-chan. Thank you. And the next is from Sean from Twitter. More story time with Ollie. Thank you. And the next is from Astolfo Boy. Thank you. Ohayori. Can't stay due to work, but I want to stop by to say your hopefully washed hair looks lovely. Thank you. Thank you very much, Astolfo Boy. Haven't washed it, but it's still lovely, right? And the next is from a Korean early adapter. Wow, there's a lot of Korean Zamrits coming. I mean, there's a lot of Korean Zamrits now. I'm so happy. Korean Zamrits, 안녕하세요. 크레이셔리입니다. 여러분, 감사합니다. Thank you so much for all of the support. Thank you. Lol. Thank you so much for the donation. And then next is from Luke Fabius. Finally caught an audio stream live. So hype. Thank you. And then next is from Emmanuel Garcia. Hi, Ollie. I just recently found out about you, but all of your streams seems like fun, and I'm glad I could finally catch one of the streams live. Aw, thank you, Emmanuel Garcia, and thank you for the very big super chat. It means a lot. It really does. I hope you enjoyed my streams. Yeah, thank you. And then next is from Arnulfo Mendez. I love the series, but I got here late, so I'll check out the VOD later. Time to sleep anyways. Good night. Good night. Hope you'll have a wonderful sleep. And hope the stream was entertaining for you. Thank you. And next is from Maku Kawakami. Girl, if you were a book, I'd need glasses, because you'd definitely be a fine print. Also, can I be your husbando? Thank you, Maku Kawakami, for the super chat. You really... How do you come up with these flirts? How do you come up with these pickup lines? Seriously. Thank you, and no, I am an idol. I cannot get married. Unless they're also idols. Thank you. Next is from Fateburn. I could listen to Ollie read a phone book. You want me to do that? I can actually do that. Want me to do a phone book reading? Or like... You guys know P? I mean pi? Do you guys know pi? The 3.14? Like I could do a stream just reading the numbers on pi. Should we do that? Yes? Yes please, yes please, awesome! Then when I have time, I'll probably do that then. So. Thank you. Next is from Kobold Party. I joined at precisely the right time. I'm glad you did. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Thank you. And then next is from Oja. I've always fallen in love with literature. I try to read for 1 or 2 hours every day minimal. And you're just like a book. My favorite book, a very beautiful written book. You add meaning to my life, my fair lady. Aw, shut up. Shut up, Oja. Aw. Thank you very much. Next is from Bucho. Hey, Ollie, have you ever read Katawa Shoujo? Katawa Shoujo? I have not actually. I'll check it out later. Thank you. Next is from Samber Appa. Good for a relaxing night. I'm glad. And then next is from Yenwei. Hey Ollie, could you use a heart rate monitor on one of your upcoming game streams? I know it read 0 the whole time, but I think it'd be a fun goof. Anyway, hope your throat feels better soon. Thank you. A heart rate monitor. How do you do that? Do you need like equipments for it? What are they called? Like, that's actually pretty interesting. But how? But how? Ito... Just a fake monitor. Just a fake monitor? Ska. Ska. And then, I'll try and look into it, the heart monitor thing. I'll see what I can find. Thank you. Next is from Maku Kawakami. I'd be an idol like Majima. Just wait. I'll be waiting then. Thank you. And then next is from Center Solis. Time to become an idol. Yep. Thank you. And next is from Bobby. Here's a useful Korean phrase, Ollie. Oh, I did not learn this from watching K-pop group interviews. I hope I didn't butcher it up. Okay, cool. Let me try reading it. 우리 많이 사랑해주세요. Oh. Please love Ollie a lot, right? 우리는 많이 사랑해주세요. 해주세요. 우리는 많이 사랑해주세요. Yay! Love me lots. Hey, thank you. I'll be using that phrase from now on then. And then next is from Center Solis. Also, I think you missed it earlier, but my kitten is fine. His surgery went well. He's actually been asleep on my lap listening to your voice act. Aw, I'm glad that your kitten is okay now. Pat your kitten for me. Give it a little kiss for me. Mwah! I'm glad that your kitten is doing good. Okay, next is from Death. Sending you a death hug since I am not a ghost. You are the sunshine of everyone's life. And yes, including mine. Aw, thank you, Death. Wait, aren't you Callie Senpai's teacher? Sensei? Death Sensei. Is that you? Use your real voice. You want me to use my real voice?
This is how my real voice sounds like. What do you guys think? My real voice. You like my real voice? Yes?
Oh no, I exposed myself! Oh no, I exposed my real voice! I doxed myself! I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to be doxing myself like this. I'm a VTuber. I'm an idol. I shouldn't dox myself. But oh well. Thank you. And the next is from Iriyamu Z. Thank you so much for the donation. And then next is from SD4GX123. It's in Hangul. What? Give me a money? Sure, here you go. No, I didn't say give me money. I said love me. But what is this? Wait, what is this? I want to read it. 뭐라고요? 돈을 많이 달라고요? 여기 있습니다. 뭐라고요? 돈을 많이 달라고요? 여기 있습니다. What does that mean? What does that mean? Itu artinya apa? Oh well, anyways, thank you. And then last is from Just Lookin'. For your powerful voice, it hit hard. Ollie, you rock. Thank you so much for your super chat. It means a lot. It means a lot. Google Translate. Okay, I'll Google Translate what it meant. I beg your pardon? Do you want money? I agree. No, I don't want money. Don't read stuff you don't understand, lol. I'm sorry. Just... I'm sorry, no. 어디 한국만 하는 거 너무 귀염이에요. No, it's not 귀염. 귀여잖아요. It's not cute. Hasn't learned a thing. You don't want to say anything yabe on accident, right? Right, I'll be careful next time. Oh well. Your voice is making me scared.
This voice, you mean? This voice?
His voice?
This voice! What voice do you want? There's a lot of voices. So. I have given up. I'm sorry. Mosquito voice, what? Yeah, anyways, thank you. Next is from Joe Mama. Hello again, Ollie. I'm sorry I missed your stream, but I'm preparing for a job interview tomorrow. Wish me luck, Mama Zombie. Good luck! Good luck on your job interview. I hope you get in. I'm wishing the best for you. Remember, don't be nervous. You gotta and look your best and just be yourself. Be honest and have confidence. Okay? Good luck. You got this, Joe. You got this. Nice. And the next is from... Oh, it's in kanji shino suba. Kanji shino suba kanji-san. Arigatou gozaimashita. ごめん、漢字本当に読めない。読めない。できない。漢字のこと。すいませんでした。でもありがとうございました。And next is from Umi Umi. 生声 Umi Umi. Yesterday I remembered it on the stream of Paul Rene. Slime cute. Umi Umi, don't use gue. Don't use gue. Gue はダメです。グエはね、グエは俺みたい。グエは俺。インドネシアの俺。そう。グエはダメです。悪、そう。悪使って。悪は僕みたい。そう。Reina Sensei teach me to use more gue to be more casual. Well, it is casual. It is more casual and it makes you sound cooler, but I don't know, man. I don't use gue that often. I say lu sometimes. Sometimes I say lu, which is like omae. But I never really use gue. I always say Ollie or aku. So. Gue dame beko. Gue rizak. So. Nama aku Umi. それ使って。gue はなんていうか。なんていうか。It's very like the vibes. I mean you can use gue when you're with close friends, but if you say this to a complete stranger, it's like asserting dominance in a way. So. Gue say so. It's not cute. Gue isn't cute at all. Gue is kind of cool and wild in a way. Yeah. So. Gue manusia. So. Thank you. Anyways. A lot of people have been learning Indonesian and I'm so happy. Akhir-akhir ini banyak yang belajar bahasa Indonesia. Ini Oli udah bilang beberapa kali sih. But it just makes me happy, you know? Tapi Oli beneran bangga banget tau gak sih? Pada bicara bahasa Indonesia. The next is from SD4GX123. Thank you so much for the donation, but I don't wanna read your message. Oli gak mau bacain message kamu. Thank you, kamsahamnida. But I don't wanna read it. Oli gak mau baca. Anyways, thank you. And that is all of the donations for today. Dan itu adalah semua donasi untuk hari ini. Terima kasih banyak semuanya telah datang. Okite kurete hondoni arigatou gozaimashita. Thank you so much for coming to the stream today. It's been fun reading a light novel. of another isekai. I don't really read light novels out loud, so it was quite the experience for me. Ini pertama kalinya Ollie baca light novel kan ya, kenceng-kenceng gitu. Like if it was a manga, I just need to situate my voice with the drawings, right? Kalau manga itu kan Ollie tinggal situasikan diri sendiri sama gambarnya gitu kan ya. But light novel is different. Tapi kalau light novel itu beda. We really have to read through all of them first. That's what I think. But I didn't really do that. Kita harus baca dulu semua, baru kita harus bisa terus kita bisa baca gitu lah. I didn't do that much voice acting today because I was mostly reading. I'm very sorry for that. Ollie nggak ada voice acting hari ini. Tadi sama sekali gak ada voice acting soalnya agak sulit Ollie bacanya. I'll keep practicing so I can read more light novels. And again, a big shout out to Bookwalker. Terus habis itu Ollie ingin berterima kasih sekali lagi kepada Bookwalker. Bookwalker, arigatou gozaimashita. Thank you so much. It's all thanks to you guys that I get to read all of these masterpieces. Berkat Bookwalker Ollie bisa baca buku-buku yang seru seperti ini. Jadi Ollie ingin berterima kasih. Ingat semuanya, remember everyone, you guys can use code Ollie to get some discount off your purchase if you're a new Bookwalker user. And if you're already a Bookwalker user, you guys can get exclusive discount on We Love Slime Fair. Yeah, you guys can get up to like 40% off, so check that out. Links in the description below. Thank you, Bookwalker. And that is all from me. Thank you so much everyone for coming to the stream. This has been Crazy Ollie, and I am signing out. Hotsu Crazy! Bye-bye. Ini belum boleh ganti schedule-nya. Ini schedule-nya salah. This is the wrong schedule. Don't pay attention to it. I'll change it on the next stream. So yeah. Don't pay attention to the schedule. It's the wrong schedule. It was the schedule from last week. Anyways,